Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I feel like people think I blew up like this, like a lot, because like it happened so quick
Yeah.
when it happened. But there was like 3.5 years of me doing it when no one really like knew who I was or anything.
This is episode 221 of the Barstool Sports Token CEO podcast. I'm Erika Nardini. I work at Barstool Sports. Mackenzie is a year older by a week at this point. If you've recently had a birthday and you have like some cash lying around and you're like itching to buy something, you can go to the Barstool store and buy all sorts of our stuff. We've got Work Like a Girl t-shirts. I'm actually wearing a Work Like a Girl sweater. Isn't this cute? Daniela made me this. I think it's super cute. But you can get Work Like a Girl t-shirts. You can get business casual sweatshirts. You can do all sorts of things at the Barstool Sports store. I actually was just in the store the other day. We've got awesome stuff. Eddie and the Chicago guys made t-shirts with the JP Graziano brand. But the t-shirts are amazing. I bought like 3. They're great. So go check out the Barstool Sports store. Here's what we're doing today. We have the interns joining us. So we've got Jack, Bella, what was the third guy's name? Jared. So we've got Jack, Bella, and Jared. We should keep that in there just to humble them. They're great. They talk about getting internships at Barstool Sports. They talk about what all of their friends are doing and what they hope to achieve this summer. We are also doing Q&A, and then we have an interview with Josh Richards. Josh Richards is a TikTok star. He's an influencer. He's a businessman, and he is the co-host of BFFs, which is our TikTok and pop culture podcast with Brianna Chicken Fry and David Portnoy. All right, so let's kick it to the conversation with the interns. I think you'll like them. I thought they were great. We always have a good crop of interns here. We hire great interns, and this year is no exception. So we are going to talk to 3 of them now. Which one are you? Who are you?
I'm Jared Beeman.
You're Jared Beeman.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you?
Bella Sprague.
Bella Sprague. Yeah. Okay.
Jack Coleman.
I know you, Jack Coleman.
How's it going?
You've been ride or die with us for a while. Okay, so what are you guys doing at Barstool?
Me and Coleman are like production interns.
Okay.
And
what's Bella? Social. Okay.
Doing some thumbnails, tweets, kind of dipping in everywhere that I can to see what I like.
Okay.
Most, yeah.
And where do you guys go to school? And what year are you?
It's called Georgia College. I'll just say UGA, but it's like below UGA, like an hour. And I'm going into senior year. Yeah.
Georgia College. Your parents pay a lot of money to Georgia College. So it's like, do you have a sticker on your car?
No.
Okay, I hate people who put stickers on their cars.
Yeah.
Do you guys have stickers on your cars?
I don't have a single sticker on
Why
my
do
car.
people put stickers on their cars?
I don't know.
It's so braggy.
My dad puts like, he runs
UNC?
marathons. He puts
Yeah,
like his
okay.
marathon stickers back there.
I mean, that's a dad
It's like
thing
26
to do.
point
Yeah,
whatever it
the
is.
26.2
Yeah, he
thing
puts
where
those
you're
on
like,
there.
okay, Hardo.
The little Boston
You know what I
Marathon
mean?
tags.
Yeah, okay. All right, Bella, where do you go to school?
I went to Marist College. I graduated
Marist
this
College.
year. Yep.
Okay, so you graduated this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Marist is in where?
Poughkeepsie. It's like an hour and a half away from here. Yeah.
Okay.
Boston College. Just
Heard of it.
graduated like 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
3 weeks ago.
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
what were you guys majors in?
I was
what'd you major in?
communications.
Marketing.
Communications and political science.
Okay. And how did you get the internship? Like, how'd you make the cut? It's not easy to do.
So like starting in August, like I found a lot of people's emails here.
You've been interning here since last
No,
August?
I've been trying to get an internship here
Oh,
since
okay.
last August.
I was like, wow, I've never seen you
No,
before.
so in August, I found like 10 people's emails. I like made this video resume that like explained what I can do here, what I do. And then I emailed it like probably twice a week since August.
Okay.
And then just got an email back. I just applied for as many applications
Anything you
as I
could do. You were
yeah.
like spamming.
I did the
video.
emails. I didn't spam, but I did like once or twice a week.
So
I
you
tried
were not a
do-
viceroy?
No, ma'am.
Were you either one of you viceroys?
Yes.
You were a viceroy.
For
Okay.
Marist Chicks. I ran the Chicks page for my school. And then I had an interview with Sakara and then one with Gaz, and it just worked
It worked?
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And Jack?
So I actually started just kind of hanging around the Token Facebook group.
Yeah.
And through that, one of the members of that said, you should definitely try and be a viceroy. Even check out the Chicks page too for your school because they're more responsive sometimes. So I started with BC Chicks and then
Working on BC Chicks.
Working on
I mean,
BC
that's
Chicks.
actually a brilliant strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am
You're like,
the
I'm
dude
Jack
behind
from the
BC
BC Chicks.
Chicks.
Okay.
Yep.
So what were you doing? The posts? What exactly were
Yeah,
you doing
like
for BC
Twitter,
Chicks?
Instagram. I was going at ND Chicks for a while there. They were annoying.
Okay. I love this.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I would like get ready to do my tweets and like drop my glasses a little and add a couple nail
cute.
emojis, you
Yeah.
know. But no, it was a great time, a lot of fun. And then from there, I wanted to do more, so got involved with the Barstool Athletics program over the summer. And then coming into my senior year, I wanted to take over our main account for BC.
BC Chicks or BC?
Nope, just
BC Regs.
Yeah, Barstool BC.
Yep.
And so with that, I started working on the Instagram and also worked a mini internship here over like the winter break.
The holiday break. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And now I'm here. So
and are you guys happy to be here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it all you expected, less than you expected? Are people fatter, nicer, meaner?
The office is
bitchier?
smaller than I thought it would. Like,
Okay.
Not fit. Like the rooms are smaller than they look on camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Yak Room,
Yeah.
I thought that was like a huge conference room, and it's like not as big as. I thought.
Okay.
But everything's amazing. It's just.
Yeah, everyone's really nice. Like, I was definitely a little intimidated coming in.
Sure.
But everyone's nice. Everyone treats you just like a normal person. And the office itself is way bigger than I thought it was.
Okay.
Like, seeing it
You're the only girl intern.
Yes, I am.
Rico is coming to your honor.
To my rescue,
Rico lives
yes.
for that shit.
I wasn't seeing that.
I will say that when I got there was 2 seats open and I didn't want to sit. So it really wasn't like... Then they sat after I got there, so
Oh, that's
Rico
all right.
kinda caught him at a bad time.
Rico lives for this stuff. Like Rico has like it's like the easy button. Like there's like an alarm that goes off on his desk if someone in this building, if there's a woman who's been somewhat disrespected, which is a service we need here. So I love that.
The worst thing.
Okay, so and then what are your friends doing? What are their internships?
I don't even know.
Bad
So-
ones? They can't
I
get
don't-
them.
No,
Do they have
I
jobs?
mean, they do have jobs right now. A lot of my roommates were in the business school, so they kind of had this trajectory planned out for like the last 2 years.
Okay.
Where like they knew where they would be working come this summer back like their sophomore year.
That's boring.
So yeah, I mean they're all at like big banks and stuff. There's
Okay.
a couple like
Like in a
Morgan
cube
Stanley's
somewhere,
and,
working
Goldman,
80 hours a
all
week.
that.
They're
Yeah.
all like that. Yeah.
They were very depressed around graduation time. I was happy to be
Yeah.
graduating and coming here. So
Why? Because they knew that like the servitude was about to begin.
exactly, yeah.
Huh.
No, they were just that's the end of your
That's the end of the
relatively
freedom.
young life
Yeah.
that there isn't a care, and then before you know it, you're 20 years in at a cubicle, and like that all
That's
starts
too bad
then,
because
you
it's
know?
all so it's ahead of you. Like
Yeah.
you guys are so young. It's so
Exactly.
funny. We got a call on Work Like a Girl the other day about that. About someone was like, "I'm just bartending this summer." As it was a junior, going to be a senior. I'm just bartending. Am I do something wrong? I'm like, that's an amazing way to spend your summer and a great skill to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna want to talk to you if you're the bartender. So
Right.
it's good networking.
Yeah,
there,
I
too, you
agree.
know?
That's
more
what it
fun
was.
than a
That's what he was
cubicle.
saying. Definitely. Okay, so you two need to find jobs at some point, or your parents like no pressure.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely pressure, but like, I don't know. I think that
I mean,
they
you have another year of freedom.
I would still.
Yeah.
I
they
wouldn't want to
respect
go
what
back.
I like
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as long as I'm happy doing whatever I do,
Yeah.
they're pretty okay with that.
Do you feel like it's harder to get a job? Like, do you feel like your peers or your friends are stressed about finding work?
Yeah, a lot of my friends are kind of doing like the go home, work at the restaurant, bar, like we said.
Okay.
Figure it out, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like right now, like with the job market, like I feel like so lucky to have gotten this internship. But also, like, I won't lie, like, it was the only thing I applied to. Like, I didn't apply to any other job. That was like, if I don't get this, then I will see if I can get like, entry level PR or some sort of
Okay.
job.
Yeah.
But I feel like with like, especially because we were already in the Viceroy, like,
Yeah,
it
the
was-
viceroys have such an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
You weren't a viceroy.
I was just shooting in the dark.
Lucky.
Spamming people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I had like a production company for the last 4 years.
Okay.
I've done like video production stuff, and like it was either like in my head I was always like I either want this to work out or I want to work at Barstool.
Okay.
And then like me and my roommate and I did it together, and we kind of both realized about a year ago when I started applying here or an email or whatever I was doing, like we both were like I don't know if I like owning a company even though it wasn't like that big. Like we didn't like it as much as we thought we would. But I was glad I tried it because I don't have to like live the rest of my life like wishing I did. But like then I was like okay, like I tried this, now I have that experience. Let me like put that on the resume for Barstool.
Okay.
And then
And what
eventually
brands are you
worked.
working on?
like here mainly stool scenes. I
Okay.
reached out to like Anus and Boy Dad.
Okay.
I'm doing some social stuff for them, but
Okay.
that's like about it right now.
Okay. Are you busy? Like how many hours?
Yeah, well,
a day do
when
you
I was
work?
doing like stool, like me and him both do stool scenes, and like we both realized, especially at the beginning of the week, we would like be working, but then there'd be like a couple hours where they're like, there's not much to do. So then I asked like Michelangelo, my boss, and he's kind
Oh,
of like,
Michelangelo's your
yeah,
boss?
Yeah.
and we both,
I love
I
that.
love
okay,
him.
so sorry. So your boss,
yeah,
Michelangelo.
so we both
you went
were
to your
under him,
boss.
and
Yeah.
like we both kind of like I like Son of a Boy Dad and like Anus, and I know that like I've
Why
talked
don't you just walk up to Roan?
That's what I walked up to Owen because I like.
Okay, that's more approachable.
Yeah. And I went up.
Are you intimidated by those guys?
By Roan and them?
Yeah.
Nick and KB and all them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Nick and KB were gone the first few days, so I didn't have a chance.
Like, would you walk up to Big Cat and say hi? Or are you like
Yeah, we all
away?
walked up and introduced ourselves, and then the thing that I was like, I think I'm actually gonna get more work by walking up to like Owen or somebody.
Okay.
So I went up to Owen. I was just like, hey, like if I need help, like I've already told Michelangelo like I have a lot of free time. I need to be like utilizing it because I don't want to just be like.
Yeah, that's smart. You should do that.
Like we applied here. I don't want to be like sitting around.
Okay.
But.
And what about you, Bella? Who do you work for?
I work for Olivia A.
Okay.
She's great. She's such a sweet.
YouTube Olivia?
Yes.
She's
YouTube
so
Olivia.
sweet.
Yeah, she really
and
is.
smiley.
Yes. And then I'm kind of working with Sahar and Hannah a little bit on the various accounts, and then I was given the honor of being in the BFFs meeting. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I love pop culture, and that's what me and Gaz talked a lot about in my interview. So he said that
we just had Josh Richards in here. What would you have asked Josh Richards? You would have been better in that conversation than me.
God, I don't know. I wanted to ask him. I do. I like Josh a lot. I wanted to ask him. I was gonna go around the office and ask the guys who is a celebrity that they've had a dream about, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be funny if I could ask Josh," but I think he's probably gonna be gone by the time.
We'll just let you scoot out of here. He's like sitting right there.
I think is he right there?
Yes.
We can just get him in here to do it.
Here, go ask. You go do that and come back.
Really?
Yes.
Is he right out there?
Yes. Okay, hit it.
Yeah. Kind of like Jared was saying, like we're both doing stool scenes and rundown. Similar thing, anyone that I could talk to and just help out in any way, any capacity, in any free time.
Oh.
Tough.
Tragic.
Hate to see it. But yeah, like however I can help, especially trying to associate with maybe some of the brands that I personally enjoyed before I started working here. That's kind of been how I've been going about it. But it's been super helpful. Everyone's been great so far.
Okay, and what else do you want to tell me?
Do you guys have questions for her? You don't have to, but.
Okay, I have a question.
All right.
As someone well, this is just gonna sound like a selfish question.
Probably.
As someone that's not like a Viceroy person, like, what is the best thing like you're looking for in somebody like me to prove themselves to be full time?
Exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
Like the initiative and working on stuff. Look, it's hard. Like when you're an intern and you come in here, it's like your freshman year in college. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly
Yeah,
what it
that's
feels
And it's
exactly
like you're at that first frat party or the cafeteria and your head is just spinning. And
Had
then
my fit on the bet the night before, getting it all ready.
Yeah, getting all ready. So you're
got up like
there,
3
you want to
hours
be
early.
perfect,
Yeah.
and you're so excited, and then you get overexcited and you do something stupid. So like make it through that phase. Most interns fuck up within the first like 48 hours.
Oh, that's good.
So your biggest fuck up was that you guys didn't let Bella have a seat, but which is as far as interns go here, that's a miracle.
That's great.
And then it's like you gotta just make the most of it. You've got to become invaluable to someone, like so that someone advocates for you, and not like getting coffee and demeaning stuff like that. More like you've shown Olivia that you can grow whatever YouTube you're working on, or Jack, you're working. What are you working on? Stool scenes. What else?
Stool scenes and rundown for right now.
And rundown, but only in video production. Why are you in video production?
Well, because I've kind of just picked up a bunch of different skills along the way that I thought would maybe best suit myself in this environment. Yeah.
What other skills do you have though?
I mean, in the past, I've done some like podcast hosting. Basically, going back, I hosted 2 podcasts on my own that I also wrote and produced for. But then I kind of wanted more experience in editing, so I started taking on other people's shows and projects and just being the producer role. And I gained a lot of respect for that work. So being here and being able to do that has just been absolutely incredible.
I think
really
that's
just
great.
kind of show some of the new skills that I picked up along the way.
I think the great thing about the internship here is, one, it's really fun and you meet really good people, and I do think the people here are really great. And then 2 is that you get your hands on 1,000 things. And 3 is that you guys are all competing with one another. So it's like somebody's going to work harder than the next person. Like not everyone is going to get a look to come back. So I think it's just really like make the most of every opportunity, learn everything you can. Don't be afraid to go up to Owen or Roan or whomever it may be to be like, I have an idea for how we could do this better. Like take a risk on yourself. Like you're here. That's the hardest part. And that's awesome. You guys will crush that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. We are recording like 5.5 hours of this show in a day and a half. So if you notice me wearing the same thing every fucking day, it's not because I wear the same clothes every day, although sometimes I do. I'm a big clothes recycler. I like to leave like a little pile of clothing on the floor and I just re-wear it, which is kind of disgusting, but I actually secretly think everybody does that. Everybody does that. Yeah, okay, fine. Everybody does that. So speaking of clutter, which is I have a closet full of clutter, a mind full of clutter. If I were trying to streamline and think about being entertained, having fun, getting a break from work, not recording this podcast for the 17th hour in a row, I would get Backbone. So what Backbone does is it puts all of your gaming in one place and it makes your phone, just like Mackenzie's phone. I am just waiting for someone to text her right now, just staring at this intently, waiting for someone to text her. It makes your phone your game console. So if you want to consolidate your gaming into one place, you want to make your phone your console, you want it to be super easy to use, you want to access Xbox, you want to do Google games, you want to do the arcades, you want all the stuff in one place, Backbone is the perfect product for you. So what's awesome about Backbone is it transforms your iPhone into a handheld console. I already told you that. It serves as a hub for all your games. It recommends new games for you. It enables you to connect with friends, to record your screen, to stream on Twitch, and you can play on any screen. We then again tell you that your iPhone can become a gaming console. So your iPhone can be your gaming console. You can stream hundreds of games. I actually think this is cool. FIFA, Halo, Minecraft. You can do iCloud game. You can do cloud gaming. You've got Xbox Game Pass. You've got NVIDIA. You've got Google Stadia. If you go to playbackbone.com/token, you can get free access to over 350 console games. You got to do it before June 30th. If you go to playbackbone.com/token before June 30th, you can get 1 month free of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. You can get 2 months free of Google Stadia Pro and 3 months free of Discord Nitro. Find your next adventure at playbackbone.com/token. All right, so I've given back Mackenzie's phone, which means I'm going to entertain myself right now with Q&A. So first question, how do you handle a manager that does not communicate well? Amen. Most managers don't communicate well. I don't communicate well half the time, so I get this question. Everyone else in my department sees my performance and they know how well I'm doing, but my manager only calls out and makes notes of things they don't like and never lifts me up for the things I'm doing well. Do I say something? Ooh, I feel like this is a pity party kind of wrapped in a question. So what I would say is maybe your manager doesn't like you. Maybe your manager doesn't think you're doing a great job. Maybe your manager's just an asshole. Or maybe your manager has other issues going on that prevents them from seeing the great work that you're doing. All of those scenarios are totally possible, totally plausible. You never really know. I think it's a great idea to call it out. I think it's a great opportunity for you to show leadership, for you to show maturity, and for you to show proactivity in saying to your manager, don't go be a victim, don't be a whiner, don't be like, womp, 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 you never compliment me, you never tell me I'm doing a good job. Like, we have that a little bit around here. Like, Dave Portnoy hands out a good job like once every 2 years, and we call them attaboys here. And if you're sitting around waiting for an attaboy for doing your job, like, this is not the place for you. So you may work at that kind of place, or something might just be off with you and your manager. I think it's a great idea to call it out. And how I might recommend you think about it is you're like, hey, I'd love to have a one-on-one. I noticed you're really critical of my performance. And you'll say, hey, I noticed it in this instance, in this instance, in this instance. I'd love to understand what I could have done differently, what you would have wanted to see from that scenario. And then if you start with that question, you can just parlay the conversation into, am I meeting your expectations? Is there something I could be doing differently? Are there things you wish you could see from me? And then it also gives you the opportunity to say, hey, I'd really appreciate if you could acknowledge my work. I feel like you're very critical of my work. I'm super open to that. I love it. I want to be the best. I want to be better. I'm all in and all up for feedback. But it'd be nice to know when the things that I am doing are meeting your objectives, or they're delivering you what you want. So I think a conversation is a great idea. I also have to say that, very often I think managers can kind of be like bitchy and critical and just bite on people instead of taking the time to be like, yo, dude, I think you suck. And here's what you're doing wrong in your job. So credit to you for being the bigger person and prompting that conversation and kind of getting to the bottom of the relationship between you and your manager. Second question, how do I ask for help with some of the tasks that I have to take on when I'm expected to figure it out on my own? My company values the employee who takes on more than just their role and learns how to do new skills and techniques on their own, because that's how most of the veteran employees operate. The grind is really respected here, but I'm starting to feel burnt out from limited resources. Okay, this is a great question. One, it's really easy to feel burnt out, and burnout hits you at different times for different reasons. Could be based on what's going on in your personal life, could be based on what's happening in the workplace, could just be based on how your overall health is or how you feel. So I think the biggest thing is only you know if you're experiencing burnout or if you're depressed at work or you're dissatisfied at work or unfulfilled at work. So you got to listen to yourself. Like, you got to listen to that voice inside of you. I feel like when I don't listen to that voice inside of me, bad things happen or not great things happen. And my general sense is that that's true for everybody else too. I think it's great to have a culture where, you know, the hero culture wins, right? We have a little bit of a hero culture here where, you know, the more you take on, the more Herculean the task, the bigger the risk and the bigger the win, the more you're loved. Like, that's a little bit of the Barstool sports culture. To be honest, one of the things I'm kind of struggling with at Barstool is it's hard to have everyone be a hero when you have 400 people. Like, it creates infighting. People are pitting themselves against one another instead of working together as a team and banding together to share the work. Everybody just wants the risk and the reward or that moment of glory. So this is not answering your question at all. So it's a little bit more of a rant on a whole bunch of other things. But what I would say is you got to talk to your manager and you've got to be like, hey, I'm getting fried. I'm trying to do all these tasks. I'm trying to get this much done with only this much resource. And I need some help prioritizing. I also would love to understand, is it always going to be like this or is it going to get better, right? Are we just in a pinch or a crunch time or money's tight, we don't have the resources we need, or is this the way things are? You might get an answer you don't want to hear, which is this is how things are, at which point you need to make a decision about the work-life balance you want and the kind of career you want to have and how good this experience is for you and what you can get out of it. I don't think you want to take the path of like just saying no to work or just shoving work on other people. I would really invest the time to have the conversation about, you know, hey, this feels like a lot. Do you have suggestions on better ways to manage it? Do you have insight into if we're getting more resources? And do you have recommendations on how I should prioritize? And that, I think, is a good conversation that will help you get the answers you need to make the decision, to make the decisions you need about your career and your job. Third question. I just started a new job and next week is packed with events. That sounds exciting. I'm the new person and I've only been here a week. And I will be in the room with board members, senior leadership, and a bunch of other people I don't know. That sounds so exciting. I am freaking out. Why would you freak out? How would you go about this experience, and what advice do you have for being alone in a room of people and you're new and younger and you have, this sentence is just a brutal run on, but long story short, you're new, you're alone, you don't know anyone, you're younger, and you got to mingle with people professionally. I have 3 words for you. Don't get drunk. That is my single biggest piece of advice. You're going to go to all these social functions. You're going to get excited. There's going to be free booze everywhere. Don't get overserved. Being overserved is the fastest way to make a complete ass out of yourself. So that's the first thing I would start with. The second thing is wear something that's sharp, but that you're comfortable in, right? Like, don't wear an outfit that you're uncomfortable in. Don't be like, ooh, I have this mini skirt that's so cute, but it's a titch inappropriate. I can't tell if it's inappropriate or not. Don't wear the mini skirt, right? Like, wear something functional, wear something that is put together, and wear something comfortable so that you can feel your best and feel like yourself. I think the third thing to do is do your research on who's in the room. Know a little bit about your senior executives. know a little bit about all your board members, know a little bit about the people who are going to be there, and come up with 3 questions. They could be 3 basic questions, just so that you have a question already ready. If you end up stuck in a corner with like an old board member who has bad breath and you're bored and you're like, shit, I have to come up with a question, you've already had that question already figured out. So I would say just be yourself, don't get drunk, wear something that's comfortable, and have a couple questions ready, and do your homework on who's going to be in the room so that you can be ready to have a conversation with anyone at any time in any place next week. All right. I love Sakara. So we had Sakara last week. It was delicious. We had a breakfast muffin. We had a salad. I love the packaging. I love to say the brand Sakara, Sakara. Like, what a great Sakara. It sounds like a bird would be saying it. Don't you think? I think so too. Okay. What's awesome about Sakara is they have all natural food. They've got organic food. It can help you live a better life because you feel healthier. It helps boost your metabolism. It can help crave your sugar cravings. I have a late afternoon sugar craving, like it's my job. And it can help your skin glow. Who doesn't want their skin to glow? Everyone wants their skin to glow. The other great thing about Sakara is that it's premium. It's super well packaged, the portions are amazing, and it's delivered right to your door. If you go to Sakara, that's SAKARA.com/token right now, you can get 20% off your order. That's a big deal. I think that's a killer savings. Go to Sakara, SAKARA.com/token, and you can get 20% off your order. You can also get that if you just put code TOKEN at checkout. All right, so next up, we've got Josh Richards. We talk about hockey. We talk about being a TikToker. We talk about his beginnings in Canada. We talk about what's next and who he is as a business person. Do you ever get jealous? Like, are you a jealous person?
Sometimes, yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I feel like I used to be more when I was younger. Now, not so much.
Do you think you're more jaded now? Or like desensitized because you see so much of this shit? Like,
for sure.
You live in such a crazy world.
Yeah, I would say like when I first came out to LA and I was like 17, I definitely was a very jealous person. Like if I like
as
I was
a
with
human.
Just in like the fact of like with my like girlfriend or something like that. Like if I had my girlfriend and then like there's like all of a sudden like I see guys flirting with them at a party, I'm kind of like, all right, maybe I'm gonna go insert myself and like, just be like standing there. You know what I mean? But
you're like
now
this
I'm like,
guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now it's more like, I don't really care. I trust the people.
You're like, I'm Josh fucking Richards.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You're like, there's like 700 girls lined up. Okay, but that's funny though. Were you dating someone when you made it big?
Yeah.
Like
I was with
human?
Ness. That's who I was with like at the very beginning.
But before that, like...
I mean, I was with her like kind of as I blew up.
As like a human? Was she a human or was she kind of cool at
she
that
was
point?
like, she wasn't really doing social media until she came and kind of started like hanging out with me. I guess like she was doing it a little bit, but it was more just like for fun.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And now are you competitive with the girls? Like, are you competitive with them? How do you all think about each other?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, I feel like I'm more competitive with guys.
The boys.
Like, yeah. Like, because they're more like kind of going for the same lane, I guess, maybe. But also with TikTok, I feel like I've been able to kind of go in a different lane than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like, where a lot of my buddies from the Sway House are like, they were like YouTube and singing or like modeling. I was more like going down the business. Yeah. So it was like a different lane. It's like,
is that kind of your bag compared to the Bryces and everybody else?
Yeah, for sure.
And how do you think about it as you're getting older? Like, how old are you now? Can I ask?
I'm 20, yeah.
You're 20?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, 20. Okay. Said with love. Okay, so you're old and 20. Yep.
Yeah.
And like, are you still into TikTok as much as you were?
I think I have been more recently. There was like a year phase, like I would say like from 6 months ago, and then you go back like a year kind of thing.
Yeah.
In that like year time, I was like getting pretty sick of it just because like I felt like it was almost just like the same thing every day kind of thing. It was just, it was just getting tiring. But now I've like kind of found like, I think like a new love for it too, especially with like, I think especially because of the Barstool content. Like I've just been able to branch out and do more stuff with my TikTok. Yeah. Instead of just like set the camera up, wink or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like now there's like more to it, more depth, I feel like.
What do you think the secret is to being great on TikTok?
I think it's really like consistency. I think that's like the biggest thing, and finding like a niche if you're gonna like start off like with like nothing. Like when I was first making videos, I started making a lot of tutorial videos because I knew on the TikTok algorithm at that time the two things that pushed you to the For You page was if they saved your video and if they commented. Those were like the two main things. Where now it's more like watch time and there's like a couple different things.
It's changed. The algorithm's changed.
But back then it didn't matter if someone watched your video or not. If they saved it or if they commented on it, that's like it's going to go to 10 more people's For You page.
Okay, so you're like, I'm going to teach you.
So I'm going to do tutorials. So they
look
save
at it again.
Exactly. They save it. They go and watch it later. Like they comment like, oh, can I get a part 2? Or like, can I see the result? Like, right? So it's like I was able to do that. And I remember like my first tutorial video just blew up. It got like 70 million views or something crazy. And I had never come close to getting a video like that. Like I thought like 300,000 views was nuts. So after that I was like, okay, this is working. I'm gonna keep going with the tutorials. Like so I do one of those every week, at least like one tutorial video, and the rest would be kind of like the more like
fucking around.
Or like doing stuff with my sister or my younger brother. And then slowly, just as I've started like growing up, I feel like I just grew my content up with me.
And your fans grew up with you?
Yeah, for sure. Like when I first started, it was all 12 or even like 10 to, I would say 16 when I was first starting at 14. And then now it's been
6
kind
years.
of,
That's a long time. That's as long as I've been doing this.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been, I feel like people think I blew up like this, like a lot, because like it happened so quick when it happened. But there was like 3.5 years of me doing it when no one really like knew who I was or anything.
I'm actually glad to hear you say that, because I think that that's what people always miss is that like you were busting your ass and nobody's watching your shit and you're like, fuck, I gotta do it again. And you were trying to figure out the algorithm. Like nobody sees that.
Yeah. I mean, it was like 5 posts every single day. And then, because I felt like my whole strategy too was like, if I have 5 posts, if those 5 posts get 100,000 views each on the For You page, that's better than one post that gets 400,000 views, right? So it was like, I would really go for that like quantity game.
You're and like, I'm a volume shooter.
Exactly. And then I would live stream for 4 hours a night as well. So it was like 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. every night. And then I would pretty much get home from school and just go right into filming videos.
Yep. And then when you what made you feel like you first made it?
I would say the first time I felt like, I think like when I went to an event and someone asked me for a photo. Like it was like it was the craziest thing
visceral.
to me. That like
you know
girls like ran up to. It was the first time it ever happened, and because I lived in such a small town, like everyone kind of already knew who I was, right? Like you live in that town where it's just like, you know everybody.
Right.
So it wasn't like a shock to people when they saw me. They knew about my following. They more made fun of me than they did like be like, oh, it's Josh Richards.
That's not very Canadian of you.
Yeah, exactly. So then I went to an event in DC when I was like 14 or 15, like it was pretty close to like.
Where are your parents at this point?
My dad actually like flew with me, paid for like his plane ticket, got us a hotel room. Like my parents were the most supportive people in that aspect.
Still
like,
super supportive.
Super supportive. So, I just remember walking in the hotel like with my luggage, and then 3 girls came up and were like, "Oh, Josh, can I get a photo?" And I was kind of just like, "Yeah,
of course,
yeah, for sure." Like I was
I'll
like,
take it.
Yeah, I was like, "This is the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life."
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that was like the moment where I was like, damn.
What was like the first thing you bought yourself as like a treat, like for when you made it?
An MCM backpack.
Okay.
Yeah. I always wanted one as like a kid. Like I always just saw like my favorite like rappers would be wearing them or whatever. So I was like, okay, I want that one. I'm able to get some money. And then when I went on tour, I got a bag, and then all of my buddies got a bag too. Like it was like our whole tour ended up just like rocking MCM
like the
bag.
bags.
Yeah, it was like the thing. It was like the cool thing.
And are you still into it, or 6 years later you're like nostalgic about it, but you're post MCM?
No, I actually did a modeling shoot with MCM just like like
That's
6
smart
months
on
ago.
their
So it was like
part.
it was pretty cool because it was like the brand that I would always kind of just rep without like any payment or anything like that. Yeah,
like you loved
I just loved them. And then they reached out about doing like a campaign, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'd love to do that.
So what's going on with the business stuff now?
So right now the biggest thing is probably the production company we're working on, just like a lot of unscripted content, working a lot in even scripted as well. So just kind of doing a lot in like the TV and film
Do you want to
space.
be an actor?
I do.
Are you an actor?
Yeah, I do acting. So like
Do you have the card? Are you like in the
Oh, like SAG or whatever? Yeah. We
You
just
do.
had to get SAG'd. And
Okay.
then because I just got a show, I think I can say
we'll cut it if you can.
But like I just got a show with Hulu for an animation, so I'm doing like voice acting, which I
that's
love
fun.
animated, and I
Okay.
I love like
What's it
anime and
about?
everything too. It's essentially about it's almost like if you took like Stranger Things in a way and made it animated,
Okay.
I guess, but it's like based in New Orleans, and you know how like New Orleans is a very like haunted place and like voodoo magic and all that. So it's
the
essentially
moss, like the Spanish moss.
Yeah. So essentially it's like this spirit ends up like coming out of a grave, and the mayor of the town, who is like my dad, is evil, and like I don't really know that. And he wants to like get rid. He knows about like the kind of like Rougarous and like the vampires and all this stuff that is like they're living with like
the humans
without like with peace, and he knows about that, but he wants to pretty much kill them all. And then like my girlfriend ends up becoming like a Rougarou, all this stuff, and I'm pretty much like left out on it for like 9 episodes. Like I have no idea what's going on.
Just clueless.
Like and like I end up like siding with my dad over my friends because they're keeping info from me, kind of thing. And it seems like to me like my friends are hiding shit. And then it's like I eventually like find out what's going on. Did you write it? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I just auditioned for it, and then.
And you got it?
Yeah, got it. So it was like that was like the first audition that I did that I got like a role for.
Okay, so that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, so we're doing TV and film. You've got a bunch of projects in sports coming up.
Yeah.
You have a relationship with the NHL.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about the playoffs?
I mean
your Leafs.
Yeah, it's always a sensitive topic about the playoffs and the Leafs. I mean, it's been like that as long as I can remember. Yeah. But I think it's crazy to see like the difference between the West and the East, and how much more defense is played in the Eastern Conference than in the Western Conference. Okay, so like the Bruins
have more. Well, did you see that they just fired their coach?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they fired the Bruins coach. Huh. Well, by the time this comes out, the Bruins coach got fired last week. Okay, damn. So like the Rangers, far more D than the Avalanche?
Yeah, way more. I mean, it's nuts to me that you can have a game of hockey where a team scores 5 goals and they still can lose the game.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's such a crazy thing
scoring.
Ever. Yeah. So it's like you're seeing 5-7 or like 6-8 games in this.
Those are not hockey scores.
That's not a hockey. And then like.
But I
Tampa
bet the
Bay
fans
is a team
like that.
No, they probably do. Especially, I think it's good for like new fans too, because then they get a lot of action. But Tampa Bay is a team that scores 2 goals, 3 goals, and then they're like, all right, let's play defense for the rest of this game.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Sell.
Yeah. So all we need is 2 or 3, and we'll win this game. So I just think like in that aspect, it's kind of like crazy to see.
Who are you rooting for?
I think the Leafs are out? I think the Rangers are going to win it.
Really?
Yeah. I was rooting for Edmonton, but I think like Colorado's just going to blow by them. And then I think that the Rangers, I don't think either of those teams can beat Tampa or the Rangers. Okay. I think whoever wins that series wins the cup.
Okay. So do people compare you to Bieber all the time?
I don't think so. No, I don't really hear that a lot.
Don't you feel like you're like 2 very big Canadian exports?
For sure, but I think he's just like so up here, and I'm like maybe like here.
Okay, well, that's all right.
You know what I mean? I just feel like Justin Bieber is like super smart.
Have you met him?
I saw him once at Craig's actually. And that's like the only time I've seen him, but he just kind of like walked by my table because I was sitting like right kind of near like where you have to walk out. And
at a shitty table?
No, it was the outside table.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like outside you have to like walk. We usually come in through the back because like there was always like paparazzi kind of out there, and it was just like annoying. So he was leaving out the back, and he kind of just like walked by the table and gave a little like, what's up? And I was just like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Justin Bieber just
like, I was like, is that for real? But it was probably because I was like staring at him as he was walking. He was
Yeah,
probably like,
that's
who's
all right.
this fucking weirdo just like staring me down?
He's like this weirdo fan. Do you like going to places like that or not? Like, do you like to be seen and out or no?
I like to go out. I think it's just like how I kind of look at it is like I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't get that.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
part
I mean?
of the job.
So it's like, it's part of the job to me. So it's like I'm never gonna be like, oh, I'm not fucking taking photos right now. It's
Yeah.
like,
I hate when people are like that.
I do too. It's like, you can spare 5 seconds.
Yeah,
take a photo.
100%. Be gracious.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
people actually like you.
And like you would not be there
100%.
without them,
like
right?
those
that
people
person
are
asking for
paying
that
your bills.
Exactly.
And then how has it been? Like, how's BFFs going? What do you think about? You love BFFs?
It is like probably my favorite thing that I do.
Why is it your favorite?
I think just because it's so like authentic, I guess, right? Like it's like I go on, I get the sheet usually given to me like 5 minutes before I'm going on the podcast.
Very, very large drama here.
Oh yeah, and then
so the first 20 minutes of the podcast is Dave screaming at whoever the producer is
about
you getting the sheet.
Exactly. And then it's like we're looking through the sheet, and it's like it's kind of like I'm seeing it for the first time and then having to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's no preparation, but I kind of love that.
It keeps you on your toes. And Dave's very sharp.
Oh yeah, and Dave
moves
just
very fast.
And will drill into me too if it's like I'm not trying to give an answer on something. Like he doesn't let that slide.
Yeah,
so it's like
I
have a lot
that
of fun
about
doing
him.
it. I do too. It makes it fun.
But watching him try to figure out TikTok was interesting.
It's so funny. I love watching him like try to like navigate the drama.
He was like this person with
too.
this person, and he's like, you guys are ridiculous. And
yeah.
He's so young and so old at the same time.
Right. He has like a youthful mind, but it's
he
like,
does. But then he's like some.
So.
Yes, exactly, double your age. Yeah. And then what about Brie?
I think that was like the best thing we did for the show was adding Brie onto it.
Yeah.
I think it also gets to like add a female's perspective, and I think it was very like male when it was like just me and Dave on there. So I think it kind of just like brings a good light to the room.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then what's the word on like the Sway House and the TikTok drama? Like, how would you summarize that now?
Yeah, I mean,
how do you keep the drama going?
I feel like I kind of just go about my life and drama just comes to
just
me a little bit.
You?
Yeah, drama just kind of follows me. But like with the houses and everything, those have been done for like quite a while. Or at least like my house has been done for quite a while. Like everyone kind of just like went on their separate paths and like few people don't really like each other anymore. So it's just like, it's kind of like when a band breaks up.
Do you think the house concept will come back? That was such a moment of time. Remember that everybody had a house?
Everyone was making a house. I mean, like it was like us and Hype House, and then it was just house after house after house after that. Like every week there was a new house with a different theme. But
and then it was like kind of like whose house is a sham and whose manager is exploiting people.
Yep. So I don't...
You broke up with your manager. How do you feel about that? Was that hard for you?
I don't know if it was necessarily hard because I think it was just like I felt like I had a reason to be doing it, right? Like it was like, but I think it's like going to be the best for both of us. That's
Definitely,
how I really look at it. It's
yeah.
like, I think that he's going and getting healthy right now too, which I'm like really proud of. And then I think for my mental health and just like my well-being, I needed to be kind of like away from it. And then, so I wish for the best for him.
Yeah. And was that a hard decision to make? Like what kind of decision maker are you?
I mean, when I've made a decision, I'm usually like pretty like, it's easy.
This
like,
is what we're doing.
Exactly. So it's kind of just like, it was a phone call and it was just like, hey, I think like we need to go our separate ways type of thing. Yeah. And that was pretty much it. Yeah.
And then what's going on with Triller? Do you still work with Triller?
Not as closely as I did, I would say, like right at the beginning. No, it's all good. At the beginning, we were very in with Triller. I think just like they've started to pivot a little bit too in their company, like going more into the fighting space. Okay. And then for me, it's just like, I still post, I still like do stuff with Triller. It's just I'm not a fighter. Like I'm not gonna go.
I can't pretend that I'm.
I'm not gonna go and like say I'm gonna have like a boxing match because I'm not my path. Like I feel like that's the way I want to go. I feel like that would delegitimize
people would laugh at you and they would be like,
fighting,
you're a fraud.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if I want to go into doing acting and producing. I just feel like gotta pick one.
I agree with that. Yeah. All right. So then what's next for you? All these shows.
Yeah. I think.
Are you going to take a vacation?
Probably not. I don't know if I have time for that.
Okay.
But I think like the thing I'm like most excited for is really diving into acting. Yeah. Like I just love doing it. I love going to class. I love doing scene work. I just feel like it's kind of like a way to be able to escape like the craziness that I go through on social media. And like, I'm really excited about acting.
Do you like feedback? Like, do you like being coached?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like just because I was a kid that played sports like my entire life.
You're used to getting yelled at.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm used to getting reamed out, but I also like
Canadian
look up to my coaches.
yell at you. I bet they do.
Yeah, no, I've had coaches like tear into me. Okay. Like tear into me. So yeah.
What kind of student are you? Like what kind of player are you?
Like what do you mean?
Like hardworking? Are you a practice player? Are you a game player? Are you I was always like a jokester?
I feel like, there's like times like where maybe I'm like joking around just with the boys to like bring the mood up a bit. But my dad was very like on me. Like he would have me like going to morning skates at like 5:30 a.m. before school. And then it was like after school, it's like I'm going in the garage and shooting the puck 500 times. So it's like I definitely was like, I was a hard worker. It was just like,
but you I started also playing hockey
pretty late. And I also like to like lighten the mood
that's great.
And have fun and stuff. So it was just kind of like I'd say I'm a hard worker.
That's awesome. And then, are you going to date somebody again? What are you going to
do? I feel like I'm not looking for it, but if it finds me, it finds me.
Okay. Would you date a human?
Like a regular person?
Yeah.
You mean? A human? Like versus like a dog? Like
versus like an influencer.
Yeah, for sure. For
Okay.
sure. I think like in a lot of ways that could be a lot better.
100%.
Just because.
But also hard because then your worlds are so far
Yeah,
apart, and it's a lot to get
and I
someone
feel
to
like
understand
sometimes
that.
exactly. It's like trying to get them to understand the
Yeah,
world
it's
like
like
that
their head
I
is
live in, and
exploding
it's
all
like,
the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks for doing this.
Hey,
It's
thank
great
you
to
for
see
having
you.
me. Yeah,
So
great
fun.
to see you.
So that was Josh Richards, good guy, nice Canadian kid, old at 20. And that's it for this episode. So if you want, subscribe. You can click somewhere to subscribe. You can buy our merch. You can follow us on social. You can watch our TikToks. You can watch Josh Richards' TikToks. You can root for our interns. You can go to the Barstool Sports Store, and you can find us back here next Thursday.